Yeah, I'm a big believer in momentum, Manali, in T20 cricket, and if there's one thing the Bolts can take, they really restricted Sudar Prashim very well in the final 5. 41 runs, which is already a good result, but also, rather remarkably, 5 wickets too. 7 come from the first over. The Bolts, 7 for none.
I dare to overcome every hurdle and shine like a beacon. Presidential Graduate School, where every step leads to a new adventure.
तर यो जिद्दी दाग यो निकाल्न इजी छ सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश यसको 10 हातको शक्ति छ यस्तो जसले जिद्दी दाग निकाल्न गर्छ इजी सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश DHI happier home छुट्टै छ है
Himsta for a complete home.
East of Kathmandu and further down towards the border with India. So many have travelled a long, long way to be here today. Scott Kuggeleijn will want his crown back at the top of the table. He'll need 2 wickets to go past Raj Banshi to end as the tournament's leading wicket taker. Don't think anyone else close to in the mix in these 2 teams, although a special mention for Mahato's 13 wickets in the tournament, rounding out his excellent efforts with the ball. And good news is he's got his shirt back on his back, number 42. Lovely cover drive, that'll be 4. Sparkling start from Malantha.
That's one way to face Kuggeleijn. He's been quick. And why not take the pressure back onto him? Malantha, he's looking good. This time coming down the track. And he did very well, just waited until the length was right for him. And placed it right in the gap. That's for education kits to school kids. Thanks to the Ensel Foundation for every 4 that's hit.
Yeah, what an impact that will have. We've seen basically every one of the 8 franchises announce CSR initiatives, and very much this Nepal Premier League has been about more than cricket, hasn't it? Changing the lives of people across the country for the better.
You've always got to love cricket with a cause. Because yes, the sport is fun, but the impact that it can have is massive. And why not use that impact to bring positive change?
.643 of them in this tournament in terms of 4s hit. Hundreds and hundreds of 6s and endless entertainment.
Well, you had a really good chat with Paras Khadka as well, and I love the vision that he has. It's not a 1-year thing, it's not a 2-year thing. He's thinking long-term, where he can take this, how we can grow the sport, and how it can impact overall in Nepal.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you'll see broadcasts around the world and you say, oh, do they really believe what they're saying? This has exceeded every expectation, not by a bit, by a distance. Cricket on the pitch, fans in the crowd, fans online, fans on TV. It's been the talk of the country, this tournament.
Yeah, and you bring up a really good point. You hear a lot of things out there, but the thing that's really a standout for me, every time I've had a chat with Paras, is there is a passion there. And I suppose he's played this sport, he's played it for his country, and he can see, he's seen other parts of the world, he can see where Nepal needed it most. And he, along with his team, have come out with a standout product.
That will fill Asif Sheikh full of confidence. He is shy of runs, but he is a class player. That's his first boundary.
It's a decent start from the Bolts here, as Scott Kuggeleijn gets a little bit of away movement, but that's placed well, just opens the face and lets the pace of Kuggeleijn do all the work as that flies for another boundary.
Yeah, simply too full, wasn't it? And punished. Taking the aerial route by Asif Sheikh. Drags the length back, shake early on the stroke, if anything. 2 in the book, 16 for none.
Pond Superlight Gel with hyaluronic acid. 200% instant hydration. Miracles happen.
आफ्ना हरेक चिन्ताहरू अब हामीलाई छोडिदिनुस्। तपाईको भोलिको भरपर्दो साथी सानीमा रिलायन्स लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्स खुलेर जियौं।
I dare to overcome every hurdle and shine like a beacon. Presidential Graduate School, where every step leads to a new adventure.
बाजोपन सम्बन्धी कुनै पनि समस्या समाधानका लागि सम्झनुहोस् हार्दिक IVF and Fertility Center, Sinamangal, Kathmandu.
32 games, all at the same venue, inside what, about a 22-23 day period, as Dipender Singh Ari is going to bring himself into the attack. Not just the Cannes staff, the volunteers, there's so many volunteers here, and the curators, many of whom live at the venue. Maybe they've saved their best pitch for the final. It's a really good one, as Irie will come round the wicket. The rarest of things, put that into a museum, a misfield from the Tiger.
A decent start, going at 9.5 runs and over. Partnership starting to build, and they want to make sure that required run rate is in check the entire time. Milantha, 2 fours, as this is swept away. And this is what they needed, the Bolts. They needed this positive start. Wickets in hand, runs on the board. Dipender Singh Irie, the Tiger. He's going to want to have an impact here.
I've spent this whole 3 or 4 weeks answering questions as to which team I'm supporting. I'll say it one final time. No one team. I'm supporting all the teams here in the commentary box. Always do. But I will say one thing. I wouldn't mind seeing Dipender get a wicket, because we might. This one pierces the gap. Little short, little wide. And guided away for 4 more. Milantha has started brightly.
Tried to play the shot. It's been a couple of short and wide deliveries from Dipender Singh Irie, and this is well placed. Waited on it. Had a really good base. And he gets it in front to point.
And the little arm ball that comes back in. The reason I wouldn't mind him getting a wicket, though, is just purely for 2 reasons. The noise around this ground will be outrageous, and I reckon the somersault might come out again.
Do you know if he's ever tried gymnastics? That was very impressive.
Multi-talented, no doubt. Slog swept. Gets a good piece of it, gets it all the way. The chase is very much well and truly on here. Bolts off to a flying start. It's 29 for none.
मेरो नम्बर मेरै चोइस आफुलाई मन पर्ने नम्बर छानेर लिनुहोस्
जहाँ पनि रम्पम छँदैछ नि रम्पम छँदैछ नि
Legends rise through greatness and lead with their actions. From a timeless legacy to inspiring a nation, legends choose the ball. Drive like a legend. Drive the ball.
They're starting to bat better, and remember, Jimmy Neesham still to come.
We got a hold of this one, Asif Sheikh. Put away for a maximum.
Four more. Real roars around this ground, showing just how many Janakpur fans are here too. A flying start powered by Milantha.
The radar's off here for the bowling. Scott Kuggeleijn. Too far down leg, and it's helped all the way. Couple bounces, 4 runs, and it's also dented that sign.
There's a huge amount of cricket to play here, but if this goes close and if the Bolts end up winning, Sudhir Pashim will have lost it at points in their batting. It was chaotic, it was frenetic, it was frantic. It didn't need to be. They should have cantered to 200 plus.
Especially with the start that they did. The start with that partnership was incredible. But you got to hand it to the Bolts bowlers where they've just pulled that momentum back in their favour. And they're keeping neck and neck as well.
Good diving stop. It's 4 runs saved by Saif Zaid, who batted so well in that 117 run opening partnership. Yes, no doubt credit to the bowlers, but I just thought some of the batting approach outside of the openers, well, it was at times crazy. It was just almost too aggressive, hyper aggressive.
And that's a conversation we've spoken about, haven't we? Knowing to know when to be calm, when to breathe, not entering panic mode.
4 more, overpitched, low full toss, sometimes difficult to put away. Malantha deals with it perfectly.
Too short and down leg with the first boundary. And this time it's too full and on the offside. It's going to pick up another 4 runs, and Malantha may just have found his form again. Good time to find it in the final.
Not sure if he's looking for the Yorker here or what length he's attempting to bowl. There's a great old saying in sport, play the game, not the occasion. Over the last 12-15 overs across the 2 innings, the Royals have been guilty of playing the occasion. They've got carried away. They need to rein things back. They need to get a grip of this game. Keeps going like this, the Bolts could make light work of this chase.
Well, wide. Scott Kuggeleijn has been guilty of bowling quite a few wides in the past. This time a bit too far down leg, and it's good to see Brandon McMullen come and have a quick chat with him. 2 boundaries have come off the over, now a wide. That means an additional ball. Required run rate 9 runs and over, and Malantha's off to a flyer.
Change of angle over the wicket now. Same result. In fact, not just 1 wide, it will be 3 wides to the total. Saud has to do the fielding. Got to remember, 8 games up to today for the Royals. McMullen opened the bowling in 6 of them. The reason he's not here, it's that left-hand, right-hand combination that's causing Kuggeleijn problems too.
Turning out to be a lengthy over. 6 deliveries bowled already. They've still got 2 more legal deliveries to go. And the runs are coming in the form of extras, aiding this run chase.
Pick up pull shot, slightly shorter side, all the way. They are cruising here, the Bolts. What a start.
This is the issue. You bowl the wide, not only are you giving the extra. What happens here? A bit too short. It's sat up nicely. Malantha did very well to pull that, knowing there was a fielder in the deep, and just gets enough. Cheering them on, the skipper, and he knows he needs to find a breakthrough soon. Doesn't want to give the liberty of the same sort of start with the bat to the Bolts as his side had.
He may be cheering them on, but it's carnage out there. Panic, chaos, another change in angle. Where have the basic plans gone for the Royals? Well, that should have been 4 more. Barring the big right boot, the size 12s of Scotty Kuggeleijn. And lovely to see Malantha check on the bowler's welfare. He is all right. It's 48 for none.
डेयरीको उत्कृष्ट उत्पादन डिलाइट डेयरी व्हाइटनरले अब हरेक दिन डिलाइटफुल
DHI Happier Home छुट्टै छ है
Road Pedals, excellent tournament. Scotty Kugelheim has stayed on the field after that. He's not moving quite as swiftly as Royals fans would like. He's at mid-on, he's up in the circle. Irie's going to bowl his second here. The occasion for me getting to the Royals right now. And that's a really well-judged single.
Good attacking mindset from both batters. If you can't get the big ones, still rotate that strike. Scott Kugelheim had an expensive last over. Did well to get a boot there, but I was quite worried he might take a serious injury. Cut away in the gap, and it's going to be more runs. This time it's Asif Sheikh, and he picks up a boundary off Dipendra Singh Irie.
And the 50's up in just 26 legal deliveries. It's short, it's only a fraction wide, but it's wide enough. And a precision piece of placement. Hit it at the umpire, Sheikh will have said. It's exactly what he did. It finds the gap beautifully. This game will slip through the Royals' fingers if they don't turn it around quickly. It's well and truly game on in the grand final.
He struggled to find his line and length. This time a little bit better, a bit tighter, allows for no room to swing, but just too short.
Third time the El Clasico's ever been played. Slog swept again. Not out of the middle, but more than enough. And oh, a big chance. At a Kalti.com crowd catch. I'm not sure it's a clean one, as 25,000 rupees just slipped through their fingers.
Tees off. Slog swept. And Asif Sheikh goes a long way. Kalti.com, our official ticketing sponsor. For every crowd catch, they give $25,000. Correction, rupees.
$25,000. Yo, where are we going? Where are we heading?
I'd want to be on the crowd for that one, I think.
I think you're already half on the plane home, thinking of those Canadian dollars. I'll tell you something, there's not a harder crowd catch in the world than here today, because it is packed to the heavens. And this little break and play may benefit the Royals. They have got the ball back. But I'll tell you, the Bolts in full control of this chase. Pupuru Dasanayake and his charges at it somehow again. Two absolute hammerings the two times these sides have met. Yeah, I'm not giving that one, I'm sorry. I'd love to say 25,000 rupees, not clean. Oh, glorious. Asif Sheikh at his vintage best. The Bolts in full control. They're well ahead. It's 63 for none.
Neoco solar water heaters, water purifiers, chimneys, the gas hobsle बुझेको छ your way of quality living.
तपाईको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजौं.
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
After 5, Royals are nowhere next to where the Bolts are, and they've just dished out some magnificent hitting. HD Ackerman alongside me. HD, absolute carnage in the middle.
It's been a brilliant response from the Bolts. Let's bear in mind that this sixth over went for 16 runs for when the Royals were at the wicket. Because at the end of the power play, they were 48 without loss. Abhinash Bahara now, a little medium pacer with little variations. But they're well on top here, the Bolts, but an enormity of a way to go.
Yeah, Bohra has been introduced. He's been the partnership breaker as far as Nepal is concerned. Yeah, but got to really give it to these batters. Put the pressure back on the fielding side. And on a surface like this, actually, you'd ideally want to back yourself.
I think also they've been very, very smart. We've seen Malanta be aggressive, but as soon as Dipendra Singh Eri came on with his off spin, Malanta just knocked it for a single and said to the right-hander, he's your man. And so they've just done their matchups really, really cleverly.
Yeah, much like how Binod Bhandari and Saif Ali Zaid played their cricket early on, farming the strike, taking the strike to the left-arm spinner, the off-spinner. Yeah, he's the sight to watch today. He's the sight to behold in full flow. Asif, the captain, is saying, it's time to make it count.
You talk about leading from the front. You might give words of inspiration as a captain, but I tell you what, when you play an innings like this, your team tend to follow you.
Everything right about that shot. Looked to play straight, didn't try to overhit it. Good follow through of the bat. He's looking $1 million this afternoon as Asif Sheikh, the captain. And this partnership worth 68. Can sense the pressure for the boys in yellow as well. 184 in a big final when you're chasing after losing the toss, asked to field first. Wow, it's a good turnaround and response by the Bolts.
What they've done so well is when you have a big run chase, is the required run rate can get out of hand very quickly, because you walk in a couple of quiet overs against the new ball and suddenly look at the scoreboard and you're needing 10, 11, 12 for a long period of time.
He's mistimed this one. Will this be an opportunity? Just falls ahead of the fielder. You've got to chance your luck in a chase like this. And Asif is ready to take on the bowlers as well.
So what they've done well here is they've been aggressive from the word go, and they've almost got ahead of the run chase. The required run rate is just 8 to the over, and you rightly point out, it's a brilliant, brilliant surface for batting. It's extremely hard work to bowl on here.
Good delivery. Yeah, and that's why you... Oh, this is ordinary cricket. Needless throw. Extra run conceded. Bowl says thank you very much. And that's why you have to go back to the innings of the Royals as well. 117 for no loss to 184 for 9. They lost 9 wickets for 66 runs, HD.
Not required, as you say. A little error from the keeper, but no harm, no foul. No one's going to run. And then this happens. And when you're in a final, in the end, it comes down to very, very small margins. Yeah, look, they lost a lot of wickets, but they still were scoring at a decent rate. You know, 180, we can't look past it and go, well, you know, how many were they short? Because they had the platform to try and accelerate. Every batter that walked in was trying to hit the ball out the ground. Yep, maybe they could turn around and say we should have got 200, but 180, they'll take that.
He's looked good this afternoon, Milanta. Started off the campaign for the Bolts with 70 unbeaten runs, and today as well looking good on 34 not out. What a power play it's been for the Bolts. They've ruled in...
Himstar for a complete home. क्रिकेटमा जितको मजा र फोनमा टेक्नोको मजा कसैले बिट गर्न सक्दैन बिकज टेक्नो प्रोभाइड्स बेस्ट क्वालिटी बेस्ट सर्भिस एन्ड बेस्ट सिग्नल टेक्नो स्मार्टफोन रोजी बनाउनुहोस् आफ्नो चोइस मोबाइल
And what a start for the Bowls.
Yeah, the left-handed Malanta, he's owed them a few wonderful start to the tournament, but then he's sort of fallen away. But he's played beautifully here this afternoon. And Asif Sheikh, he too has come to the party. At the beginning, he might have been playing second fiddle to Malanta, but right towards the back end of the power play, he owned it. Now only 4 men are required inside the 30-yard circle. You can have 5 out. Changes thick and fast. He has more left arm spin. Safe. Good with the bat. Needs to be brilliant with the ball.
And he has been as well. 11 wickets in the tournament, an economy of under 7. Remember, he'll be bowling to the left-handed Milanta as well. For the moment, though, he begins his spell with Asif on strike, who's matched Milanta shot for shot. Yeah, take the pace off the ball. Is that the mantra?
Well, the pick of the bowlers was Rajbanji. I mean, they could barely hit him off the square. His variation of pace is quite exceptional.
Well, this is also the second highest score in the power play in the tournament, 71 for no loss. Pokhara got 80 against Lumbini Lions in the league matches. That was 80 runs on the board in the first 6. So for a final, big final, chasing a steep score, this is a remarkable effort by the Bolts.
I'll give you a statistic, though. Out of the 13 highest scores, innings scores in the tournament, the Bolts aren't even in that lineup. This is way and beyond their highest total that they would be achieving here if they chase this down.
Yes, they've been a side that has been found wanting with their batting, particularly on top, and with Anil Shah getting injured, a reshuffle on top didn't really help their cause. Milanta has finally got into groove. A lot of changes in the field here for the left-handed batter in the middle. With the ball coming into him, he goes off, finds the fielder.
Just can't afford to pitch it too far up, because if he does, he'll go over long on or deep mid-wicket. His length has to be perfect here.
Was that in the slot for Milanta to free his arms? Time since the last boundary, 9 HD.
He tried to free his whole body there, never mind his arms. And I think he yorked himself.
Only 2 runs in this over so far. It's been a good and a quiet. One. Not so quiet. Because it's a wicket. And it's a big one. And it's the captain of the Janakpur Bolts. Zeb strikes in his first over. The move has worked, and this is a big opening here for the Royals.
Well, it's the right-hander that tries to take on the left-arm spinner, and he's nowhere near the pitch of it. It's a clever bit of bowling. He drags it down, he throws it wide, it finds the toe end of the bat, and Brandon McMullen in the deep barely makes a mistake. He got the runs, he's made the early breakthrough now. Asif Sheikh goes for a very well played 33. The Bolts have lost their first. They've got 73 on the board.